Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back on this episode. I have a return from Captain Obvious, and he is in his T28 Tier 8 American TD, casemate TD, relatively slow tank with a really nice gun. And he's in a 510, so bottom tier, but only one tier down. Loaded into Redshire, and he is headed over here to the east side, which I consider the critical terrain on this map. He has quite a few tanks stacked up in the middle and a decent force coming this way, but they're about to have a good scrap over on the east side of the battle. E75 moves up. Centurion's taking an aggressive spot on this little ramp right here, looking to spot guys. Maybe help the artillery get a few free shots in there. There's an E75 showed up, and now Captain Obvious is going to start working this corner carefully with his T28. And I really like this decision. This is an aggressive TD move right here. Things to watch out for. Obviously artillery, he's relatively covered up right where he is. It's hard for artillery to hit that particular spot. The second thing is avoiding getting tracked out in the open and then waylaid from there. So things you're going to learn about this tank, and there's an immediate hit. So that's a bad trade. Doesn't really work out for Captain Obvious. But he doesn't run away. He sticks with it. Probably learned a little bit that maybe I don't want to be coming up in there. Almost gets up under the E, or the object 705, and then puts a little angle on there, backs up, and does not get tracked. So these guys don't tend to go after his track, which is a mistake on their part. He's looking for maybe getting down underneath into that lower plate, and he does. And now we've got a M449 showing up, and look how fast the reload is on this. This is something that people misunderstand about the E25, mistake that they make, is they assume it's like most TDs and has a very long reload, but it does in fact have basically a relatively fast heavy tank reload. So looking to get right into maybe the edge of the turret right there, the turret ring, but doesn't take a shot, and the 7-1 avails himself of a shot. And now they're well outnumbered, right? Look how many guys are stacked up right here, and it's just Captain Obvious and E75, and who's back here? A T34, and that's it. That's all we got. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the T95, so that's an important bit there. He was stacked in with the E75. Some side armor, he takes advantage of it. Those are the things you want to look for. If they make a mistake like that, punish them. 705 is getting worked over by Captain Obvious, and now they're both doing the side scrape back thing, looking for shots. 705 is really probably trying to get into Captain Obvious's turret up there. Not the turret, sorry, but the cupola, the hatch. Both of those are weak spots. The GF, for some reason, gives him complete side armor, then eats an artillery shell, and this looks like the end for the GF right here. Should be, no. Is unable to penetrate right there. And this is an odd series. He gets a track on the GF. GF bounces. He comes up a little bit more to get him a better angle on this lower plate. Goes right through. But the GF sits there, and it's hard to tell if the GF is actually still tracked. But he gets hit again. That probably did track him. There's a bounce. And it looks like the GF just doesn't have a very good camo crew. Stuff dropping in. Finally repairs it. He tries to get away, but Captain Obvious drops another shot into the lower hole. And now he's got the T95 and a 705. The good news is he's preserved a pretty good amount of hit points, and holy cow, this E75 is somehow 100% still. So they start to move forward. Still have the T34 up there. The T95 is dead. This takes a little longer than it probably should. And just watch this E75 lose every hit point it has by making bad decisions on when to push. A T54 shows up, and Captain does a nice job of snapping that T54, taking some hit points from him. Here comes the Object 705, and, well, I was about to say not enough reload, but he just gets into the back edge and drops him down to 50-odd hit points. And if the E75 had just loaded some HE, nope, and eats 532, and now he's in big trouble with 700 hit points. And the reason I say this took longer, Captain, I might have pushed over this much earlier. You're going to come over and stop. Let's talk about this for just a minute. You come over that hill and stop, and you were zoomed in like this looking. I would have zoomed out as I came up over and had a little bit more global SA, not global necessarily, but local SA on what was going on. The T54 is playing peekaboo over here. You have a 700 hit point E75, and you've got a T95 that's busy right now with the T34. So you can ignore him for the moment. I would have just come around. I might have even just driven around the corner on this 705, or maybe brought the front end around and scooted in and out and try to entice him to track me or something like that. And that would have then allowed the E75 to come in and take the shot. Alternately, the E75 could have pushed, the object would have turned on him, and then you could have come around. But that's not as ideal, because the turret of the E75 is what you're looking for, the capability of that. Once you come around and force him to shoot, this guy can come around and shoot him right in the side. If he comes around and the object spins his turret and takes a shot on him, he may also be able to get his hull back to you by the time you kind of trundle around the corner. So I really like you using your hit points and coming around here first, and there you go, the E75 ends up killing him. T-54 is there in the little saddle. You think, well, that T-95 is still alive somehow, so now I've got to turn around and deal with this dude. E-75 dies to their campers. The T-95, T-34 kills the T-95, and now you're good to go work on the T-54. You do still have to worry about the Sturv and the ISU over there. You're going to come at this T-54, and this is one of those micro-positioning decisions right here. Where you needed to go was over here. Look at this. Now it's hard to look. Where the saddle is, I'll just leave the camera like that. To the right of where I'm pointing right now, you can see the saddle is lower, and you're not going uphill and then affecting your depression. So let's watch what happens here. You actually don't have a shot on him. Had you shifted to the right, you can come over, and even with the small bit of depression that this tank has, you'd have been more hull down and able to take shots. As it is, you sort of charge in, and that's fine. You got the hit points to trade right here. But I think if you'd have shifted right, you might have saved yourself one of those hits and had a few more hit points. And while your team is well ahead, it's by no means completely over. Let's go ahead and zoom this up. Looks like artillery drops on you there. We come cruising in, and it's clean up on aisle 2. So we've got the Sturv. We look at that guy, don't have a shot, and we come around. And somewhat similar to what I was just talking about here, dealing with the Sturv, get a shot on him, you back up, that's fine. You back up for quite a long time, which I don't understand. I just stayed right in there because you were reloaded for a while. Even if he takes a shot, he's probably not going to kill you. I would avoid taking that shot, but I think you could have been up a little bit more and been ready to take this second shot, which you miss. Then you get hit, and finally we take this guy down. So I think that whole series could have happened much quicker, but 3,893 damage, 3,160 blocked, 1,270 assisted. Captain Obvious has an obviously good game in the T28 on a bottom tier, 2-tier game. Nice job over there. You guys were outnumbered, and winning over there was largely due to your help. Nice one.